Greetings, my dear viewers. It is I, Sarkhan, and welcome back to Dungeons & Dragons Character Conversion Reloaded, where I take a look at one of my previous builds and fix an error that I had made when converting that character into Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. And today we are looking at Sarkhan Vol once again. From Magic the Gathering, Sarkhan Vol is a planeswalker. Or rather was. After the War of the... No, it wasn't War of the Spark. It was March of the Machines, I believe. After the Phyrexian War, most planeswalkers lost their planeswalker's spark and became normal humans, or whatever creature they may have been once again, and could no longer planeswalk. Sarkhan Vol was one of those planeswalkers. Sarkhan Vol comes from the plane of Tarkir. And, oh boy, is Tarkir a fascinating plane. And one of the more confusing storylines because of the aspect of time travel that goes on during the newer versions of the set. Well, the middle sets, I would say. The most recent set, Dragonstorm, is where we actually get the reason for this reload, and that is Sarkhan Vol being classified as a druid. In the last video, I classified him as a wizard, mostly because of one flaw that I made, and that is forgetting about a certain spell that druids get access to that I had actually covered on this channel. The spell Shape Change. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into the build, starting things off with the point buy system. Much like last time, we are going for Strength of 13, Dexterity and Intelligence of 10, Constitution and Wisdom will be 14, with Charisma being a 12. And I'm not going back and changing it this time. We are sticking with that 14 Wisdom. For our race, we know that Sarkhan is a human, giving us an increase to our Strength and our Wisdom each by 1 point. The skill of Nature, speed of 30 feet, size medium, languages of Common and Orcish, as well as the feat of Gift of the Gem Dragon. Since we get our powers from Ugin, or some might pronounce it Ugin, depends on how you want to pronounce it, I've heard both, we get our powers from the Spirit Dragon, which has been described to have bluish scales. But every iteration I've seen the Spirit Dragon, he looks more like a gem than a actual chromatic dragon, which he probably is, given that Nicol Bolas is a gold dragon. But Ugin has psychic abilities, much like the Gem Dragons, so I decided to go with the Gem Dragon's gift instead of Chrome, even though it would probably make more sense mechanically speaking. This will also give us an increase to our Wisdom, making it a 16. Moving on to our background, there are two different options we could go with. The more likely one is going to be the Planeswalker background that we get from Planeswalkers of Ravnica, the homebrew supplement that I have covered a lot on this channel. One of my favorites, actually. This background will give you proficiencies in Arcana and Survival, a musical instrument, or tool of choice. I decided to go with the flute. Next is your language. I decided to go with Draconic, since he is able to speak with dragons. We also get the feature known as the Planeswalker's Spark. Alternatively, if you are not allowed to take the Planeswalker background, we're going with the Uthgardt tribe member, which we are reflavoring as Mardu, since that is the tribe he is from over in Tarkir, the Mardu tribe. We get proficiencies in athletics and survival, we get a tool proficiency. Once again, I am deciding to go with the flute, with the language of Draconic. Now, for the feature, we're actually going to be swapping it out with an optional background feature known as the Dragon Scholar, since Sarkhan is basically a dragon worshipper. Now for our class. Much like last time, we are starting things off with the Barbarian class. I am going to switch up the order that I take my classes in this time, though. So we're not going straight into 3 levels of Barbarian. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue. Hit die 1d12, starting hit points of 12 plus your Constitution modifier. Additional hit points of 1d12 plus your Constitution modifier per Barbarian level. Proficiencies in light armor, medium armor, shields, simple and martial weapons, strength and Constitution saving throws, animal handling and perception are our skills. We also get access to rage and unarmored defense. Next is our multi-class going into Druid. We get hit die of 1d8, extra hit points of 1d8, plus our Constitution modifier per Druid level. We also get access to Druidic, and our spellcasting feature uses Wisdom. Level 2 Barbarians get access to Danger Sense and Reckless Attack. At level 2 Druid, we get access to Wild Shape, Wild Companion, and our Druidic Circle. We don't really have a circle of dragons. The closest one I can find is actually the Druidic Circle of Wildfire. This will give us access to Druidic spells of Burning Hands and Cure Wounds. We also get access to Summon Wildfire Spirit, which you can reflavor as a little dragon whelp if you wish, much like the card known as Sarkhan's Whelp. Moving on to level 3 Druid, we get access to some more circle spells, Flaming Spear and Scorching Ray. Moving on to level 4, we're going to grab the feat of Warcaster. At 5th level Druid, we're going to go ahead and get our circle spells of Plant Growth and Revivify. Level 3 Barbarian, we get Primal Knowledge, giving us access to Intimidation. We also get access to the Primal Path. I decided to go with Path of the Zealot. Now, while in the last video we did give Sarkhan the Fury Path, this was a reference to his descent into madness while under the control of Nicobolus, and the maddening messages he was getting from the Spirit Dragon. After he went back in time and saved Ugin from death, he was freed from his bonds from Nicobolus, and thus was able to serve Ugin freely. Well, technically just serve dragons in general as freely as he desired. And so, his chains were broken, and he became a zealot. We get access to Divine Fury and Warrior of the Gods. Moving on to 6th level Druid, we get access to Enhanced Bond. 7th level, our Druidic spells are going to be Aura of Life and Fire Shield. Level 8, go ahead and increase your Wisdom by 2 points, making it an 18. At level 9 Druid, we get access to Flame Strike and Mass Cure Wounds. Level 10, we get access to Cauterizing Flames. Level 12, go ahead and increase your Wisdom by 2 more points, maxing it out to 20. Level 14, Druid gets access to Blazing Revival. Level 16, go ahead and increase your Charisma by 2 points, making it a 14. And then, of course, we get our final level in Druid at level 17. Now, while this is the end of the build, it is not the end of the video, as we do have to go over Sarkhan's spells. So, for spells, I recommend the following. Starting things off with our 4 cantrips: Control Flames, Primal Savagery, Produce Flame, and Thunderclap. First level spells: Detect Magic, Earth Tremor, Ice Knife, Thunder Wave. Second level, Dark Vision, Enlarge Reduce, Flame Blade, Healing Spirit, and Heat Metal. Third level spells, Call Lightning, Dispel Magic, and Erupting Earth. At fourth level we have Charm Monster, Fire Shield, Wall of Fire. Fifth level, Greater Restoration and Summon Draconic Spirit. At sixth level we have Find the Path and Investiture of Flame. At seventh level we have Draconic Transformation, referencing Form of the Dragon, though not Sarkhan's true dragon form. At eighth level we get access to Animal Shapes. Now, this only is able to transfer the willing creatures into beasts, but in a lot of the Plane Shift supplements, as well as the original Ravnica set, we can technically reskin most beasts, such as eagles or pterodons, into drakes. So we could technically have our companions turn into drakes, which kind of look like dragons, even though they're not for some reason. Next is your 9th level spell, Shape Change, allowing us to take the form of a dragon ourselves. And if you wanted to, you can also include the Enlarge Reduce to make yourselves one size larger while in this form. And with that being said, that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. What did you think of this version of Sarkhan Vol? Let me know in the comment section down below. And until next time, this has been Drehan, and I am offline.